Welcome to another gorgeous day and another day on planet Earth and another day of Dose of Did You Know, where inspiring, intriguing, unique individuals come to talk love and life and how it brought them here today. So as I am hotel living, you guys are sister living all the way in Tennessee, right?
Yes.
I happen to love Tennessee. That's why I'm probably going back there so much. You don't go back to a place that you don't love. Like nobody ever says, hey, let's go to New Hampshire. That's where I am. Nobody says that.
Right.
Ever. But
unless you're from there.
Right.
It's cold, it's gross, and cold. Those are about the two things that it is. But before we get starting about who you guys are, tell the world a little bit, in your own words, who the Hollis sisters are, the Hollis group. What is it called? The Hollis group?
Just Hollis.
Hollis.
Now on social media, we're Hollis the band.
I'm trying to make it bigger than it is. It's just
You can call us the Hollis sisters. We are all sisters, blood sisters. We don't look very much alike, so people get surprised a lot that we're sisters, but we are. And we have been in Nashville for about 2 years. We're from North Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
And we have been singing together our whole entire lives. Our parents are musicians as well. And we sang in church together growing up. And that's kind of how we started to learn and love harmonizing together.
Yeah.
And so that's what we did. We just loved to sing together every opportunity we got. So it was a natural thing just to form a group. And we have developed our sound over the years and into something that we're really proud of. And so we record in Nashville. We've released about 5 singles this past year that we're really we love, and we have some new music coming up in the next year. So we're super excited about the future and what we have going on in 2021.
Yes.
So how old is everybody?
Okay, so I'm the oldest sister. I'm Holly. And I am 31.
And I'm next in line. I'm Hannah, and I'm 26.
And I'm Halla, and I'll be 23 tomorrow.
Oh, happy birthday. How exciting. So when was it that you guys decided, I'm going to take this singing that we do in our home and in church and just our passion and kind of flip it into something more professional?
Well, I think it was really, we were all in college in North Alabama at the University of North Alabama in Muscle Shoals, the Florence area. And we were all just kind of doing our own things musically. I had been traveling with the group, and Hannah, we're all instrumentalists. We play flute, saxophone, and trumpet. And so we were doing that, and then it just kind of led into, why don't we just do a group together? We've been singing together our whole lives. We all wanted the same. We're going in the same direction, so we just said, okay, let's do this. And
I think really it was that we started songwriting together.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Holly, of course, was the first to go off to college, and when she would come home, she would show us the songs she had been writing. And then we would all harmonize to them. And then we started all writing together. And then we realized, oh my gosh, we could do this. We would love to do this. And so we did. We moved in together in Florence. And we started playing shows, writing, recording, and it's just grown from there.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to ask. So I don't have biological sisters. I have a sister-in-law, and that is, I think, way different than growing up. I have all brothers. So how did you not kill each other? Because I have 2 girls, and they didn't kill each other, right? Girls are hard. I'm sorry. I would take my boys, a billion boys, and there's 3 of you in one household, and you're so close together. How? Is there a secret sauce?
A whole lot of
say that.
Jesus and no, our parents raised us to be close. We were just raised to love each other and to share. We shared everything growing up, and that really helped us, even shared rooms. And we kind of attribute that to being so close. Now, we have our fights, we have our days. We mainly fight about clothes, but but we do. We're best friends, and it's cool to, we want to do this together because it can be a lonely career for a lot of people, and so it just always appealed to us to do it together.
Now, do you find that there's one of, like, you each have kind of taken on this role? I feel like organically we take on these personalities, these roles, when we're either like in our family situation or you're in a business together, because basically you're in a group, you're in a business together. So do you find that each of you have kind of fallen into a certain role?
Yeah, and we're still kind of learning that, to be honest, but we definitely take on different roles. I'm kind of, maybe I would say, the band leader. I kind of, not the group leader, but musically. Yeah. I play the instrument, or, I'm kind of I love to play. So that I kind of take on that role with the rehearsals. But Holly kind of takes the lead as the, the PR side and getting, things together.
Pushing
she's kind of on
forward.
Yeah, she's like, did y'all see that email? We have this schedule coming up. And so it's interesting.
Big sis, it's just, it's in your DNA. You're just going to naturally be a little on the bossy side. Whether you're not.
Well, I found, so for 24 years. Oh, sorry, go ahead. I missed that.
Halla really brings in a level head, and she, is just really good at kind of just lightening the mood. Yeah.
Lightening. She's our comedic relief.
Yeah.
We all need one of that. What I was saying is, for 24 years, I ran a business with my brother. And people always said, how did you not kill each other? Because I ran, and this is what it is. You stay in your lane. We're naturally gifted with certain things. Like, I am naturally gifted at being the organizer, being like that leader. So I ran the company, I hired, I fired, I paid the bills, did the market, like all of that. And he did all of the program and the artistic side of it and the creative side of it. And so our secret sauce was, sure, sometimes you can look at something on the outside and be like, oh, I have such a better idea for that, because it's so much easier to look on the outside of like someone's role and think that. But you know what? Shut your mouth. You can give a suggestion, but if they're in like charge of that, stay in your lane. If they don't want to listen to it, that is okay. We all have to like learn our lessons, and you have to like step back and let each other do that and support each other. That was our secret sauce. Just stay in that organic lane that naturally happened.
Wow. That's great.
That's
good. That's good advice.
That's good advice.
Because it's easy, right, for your ego to be like, let me tell you something, especially when it's family. You can be like,
it does.
And we can so much more. So what is, like, 2021 is coming. You've obviously were very resourceful in your 2020 year. Yeah, that was a tongue twister for me. And that's something too, I find 2020 either took people out or it made people rise.
That's so true.
Yes.
Right. And a lot of that rising had to come with some like self-development and realization or tweaking of a path that you thought you had. So I'm actually going to change my question. Did any of that happen for you guys in 2020? Like, you had a vision and then you were like, ooh, well, that can't really happen. And you were forced to do kind of a mind shift. It's kind of like, I say, it's like reconnecting with yourself. That's what I did in 2020. I had to reconnect with myself. It's been like an up and down to change and morph of where my gifts are supposed to be leading me. Did you guys have something like that?
Most definitely.
100%.
Yes.
These questions are so good.
That's 2020 for us too. We had to really dig deep inside of ourselves in order to be able to have this next phase of what Hollis is going to be. And then also our sisterhood too, because at the end of the day, we're going to be sisters and family no matter what. And that's the most important thing to us outside of the music. So we had to really dig deep when it got tough. We had a lot of plans to perform. We spent most of 2019 and the early part of 2020 just creating our music, creating everything we wanted to play out for our fans, and just growing our fan base. And then when it got time for us to be able to play shows, it was like, okay, there's no shows to be played right now. So we had to completely revamp, and we took time. We came back to Alabama, where we're from. We spent time on Smith Lake, just reconnecting with each other, writing songs, just really spending quality family time too. And we just felt like this is what we need right now. And it's going to catapult us into the next phase and help us be really solid for that.
Yeah, we kind of felt burnt out going into 2020, and we just, didn't know what that year would even hold. But it was actually such a great, like a beautiful time for us to soul search, to reconnect with each other, and just to kind of figure out exactly what we want. And so we do feel just like it's a new year, and it's time to, really go after what we really want.
Yeah.
Was there this, because we always talk about like the upside, like what you got out of that, that reconnection and really what did you want? But was there ever a moment where you were like, oh, like a freak out moment, like this is awful, I don't, like a questioning moment or whatever that was for you, but that ickiness, and then you came to the other side of it? But did you have that icky, like freak out moment, any of you?
Oh yeah,
we were just like, is this ever going to end? It just felt like it kept going and going and going. We came home thinking it would be 2 weeks, and we stayed for 4 months. So it was, we had our days where we were like, is this even going to work? Is this even possible anymore? We're missing out on so much. But in reality, we were doing what we needed to do.
Right. And with there being 3 of us, and we're all different ages, we're all at different places, and it can get sticky sometimes trying to figure out how to like mesh everybody's lives. And so that's always the challenge when you have 3 people, but it's still at the same time, I think what we realized is we're stronger now because we've gone through that. Right. And it really just pulled us closer together. So,
like when I'm sitting here and I'm listening, and sometimes I feel like when you're an entrepreneur and being in the music industry, it's a form of entrepreneurial. People might not think of it, but it is. You have to be an entrepreneur. You have to be self-promoting and forward thinking and things like that. So you're always like, I don't want to miss out. I don't want to miss out. And if I stay still, I'm going to lose an opportunity. But sometimes in the still is where the growth is. So I think what I was hearing is you guys learned how to like balance that stillness and growth with the keep moving entrepreneurial like side of things. Is that true, or did I make it up?
No, exactly. That's what we had to learn.
Yeah. That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah. You always feel like you have FOMO, you're missing out on something, but everybody felt that way. We would talk to other industry friends, other people, and everybody felt like they were missing out too. So we realized, okay, we're just going to have to sit back, and just let this ride, and we'll come out on the other side. And we have. I think we're a lot stronger now. So
do you think as a group and also individually, you took away and can apply that same thing, not become complacent and just be like, because I always say like, yes, this is my own personal belief. You give everything up to God. You don't have to control everything, but that does not mean you sit in your bed and eat bonbons and he's going to place it into your lap, right? There's this take and this balance. So do you think that you learned from that sitting back, from that growth, that personal and group growth that you kind of were forced to go through, that you could apply certain feelings, because I don't know if it's obviously a lesson, but sometimes I can't speak the lesson that I learned in my heart. I don't know, maybe you can, but can you apply those lessons that you learned into your future? Are they going to move with you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I really do. Yeah. I think that we all took something out of just that time this year personally. And and that was one thing that we had lost in the previous year was whenever you're trying to be so in sync with all three, you kind of lose yourself. Mm-hmm. And that's something we're trying to be more careful about, is having our own friends separately and together, things like that. We're all kind of dating, and that brings on a whole other set of issues sometimes. Yeah. But it can also be really good. It just has to, I think we learned a lot during the quarantine whenever we were just there with that, and, dealing with different things that we needed to separately. And so I definitely think that we are bringing that into the future, into this next year, personally and together as a group. So.
Well, that's always good. I'm like, I always say we're given lessons repeatedly until we learn those lessons. And then once you learn those lessons, you can move to like the next level. I see things like I'm very visual. So I'm like, ooh, I got through first grade. So now I get to go through second grade. And it could be like it's all on some sort of spiritual level. So that's great. You take these lessons, you got through like first grade, and now you can apply them into second grade, and you just keep moving and moving into your purpose and your balance personally and as a group.
Yeah. You do sort of feel like you're reinventing yourself all the time. You're just constantly changing, and especially when there's three people, you don't want to stay stagnant or in the same place. You've got to be open and be constantly, open to change all the time, in this industry especially, but then as far as our group too, and there's got to be so much communication, and it's kind of like a marriage in a way. We feel like we're going to be super prepared for marriage, because it's like
you got to work at it all the time, right? It's like when you got to figure it out, you don't. You got to so it's a constant moving and working and effort into it. But I'm super excited to meet you guys on, is it January 15th or 16th? I know I'm traveling that whole I think the 16th. What is that Saturday? What is that Saturday? 15th or 16th of January?
The 16th.
The 16th. Yeah. All right. So January 16th, I'm going to see you at the Boondocks. Travis, my partner in crime. Have you met Travis yet?
No, we haven't. We haven't met Travis.
Like the mellow version of me. I'm like all in your face, and he's like, it's an awesome combination. It's like perfect. So we're going to be emceeing it. You guys are going to be performing there. So everybody, if you're in the Tennessee area, come out to the Boondocks on the 16th, and you will get to see each of us in person, and we can go deeper and find out more about. You guys gave some massive lessons of the industry, family, growth, personal growth, applying. Like it's you guys are pretty amazing. Kudos to your parents, because it takes
we have somewhere. They help us a lot.
Yeah, thank you.
So before I let you three go, I'm going to ask my last question. You have to answer it individually, and sorry for the first person to answer. Take your pick. It doesn't matter, but they might steal your answer, so you got to be more creative. But in this moment right now, what does love mean to you?
That's a good one.
Ooh, love to me.
That comes to your head, first thing, even if it's a wonky answer.
I mean, I had something pop in my head. As soon as you said love, at this time of year, I just always think of family. Family to me is love, and I'm always surrounded by my family. So for me, that was just the first thing that came.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
There has to be something that you guys came first to your mind. No one ever wants to say it because they're like, is that an answer? And I'm like, because love is moving and changing constantly. It'll be a different answer tomorrow.
Right.
True.
Right. Yeah. It will be.
So there's two more people.
What's yours?
So the first thing that popped in my head was selflessness. I just think that takes a lot of love. So.
Yeah. And last but not least,
Y'all even name my answer. The first thing I thought of was like breakfast because I'm like, I'm kidding.
starting your day off right. You have to.
We're like super serious.
We're like selflessness, family.
Like a gravy biscuit would slap right now, but it's fine.
Oh my God.
That sums you guys all up into a perfect part. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing a little bit of who you are and how it brought you to where you are today. I am very excited to meet you guys on Saturday, January 16th. And to everybody else out there that is watching, remember as always, love hard, love pure, and love proactive. Until next time, we will see you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Danny.
Bye.
Yeah.